Annie had just finished setting the table under the gazebo at the end of their dock. It overlooked the lazy river where rays of silver from the full moon staring down at it glistened across its surface. She hadn't had time to cook. Instead, she had ordered Roger's favorite meal from the Italian restaurant in the village. Annie checked the ice bucket to ensure the champagne was chilling as it should be. She gave the table a last once-over, making sure it was perfect for hers and Roger's 37th wedding anniversary. It was the first time their children were unable to make it back home for their anniversary, so they'd decided to have a quiet, romantic night at home. Annie looked at her wristwatch. She still had 45 minutes to shower and change before Roger got home. Annie had just walked through the glass patio doors that led into the back living room when the front door opened and Roger walked in. The minute Annie saw his face, her heart dropped, and the welcoming smile on her lips faded away. Something was wrong. Her heart skipped a beat when her first thought was that something had happened to one of the children. Annie was about to ask him when he interrupted her. "We need to talk, Annie." Roger's voice was flat, emotionless, and his eyes reflected its tone. "Is everything all right?" Annie's heart was now beating so heavily in her chest she felt as if she was running a marathon. "No, it's not, and it hasn't been for a very long time." Roger looked down at the floor, rubbing the back of his neck. Annie's brow creased into a confused frown. "Has something happened at work?" Roger and one of his college friends had started a filming and photography studio that filmed documentaries. They were hired by network studios to photograph and film breaking news from all around the world. A couple of years ago, his friend had pulled out of the business, and Roger had been forced to take on a silent partner. They had started branching out into short films, music videos, and documentaries. The new partnership had been good for Roger's company, so much so a major film studio was looking to buy them out. But that deal would only happen in another 10 months or so. By the sound of Roger's voice and the look on his face, Annie wondered if maybe the film studio was withdrawing its interest in the business. "No, it's not about work," Roger said. "Work is—" He cleared his throat. "I don't think I'm going to be selling by the end of the year, Annie." "Did the film company pull out of wanting to buy it?" Annie asked him, her frown deepening. "I just don't think I'm ready to pack my career in for at least another 2 years, Roger told her. "But I thought we were going to enjoy an early retirement together. So while we are still young enough to enjoy what we made of our lives and see the world together," Annie reminded him. "That's why I sold the art gallery this year." "I'm still aiming to do that," Roger informed her before bluntly stating, "only I'm not going to be enjoying my retirement years with you, Annie." "I don't understand." Annie felt tiny shock waves zing up her spine and stab at her brain. She wondered if she should pinch herself, because maybe she'd dozed off and was having a bad dream. "Look, Annie, there's no easy way to say this." Roger looked her straight in the eye. "But I want a divorce." "What?" Annie asked him stupidly, wondering if she'd heard him correctly. Was he asking for a divorce on the day of their wedding anniversary? Annie's eyes searched his, looking for some sign that this was some sick joke he was playing for their anniversary or a belated April Fool's prank. "Our marriage isn't working anymore," Roger said. "It's time for me to move on." "Move on?" Annie knew she sounded like a parrot repeating words. She was trying to understand how Roger had left that morning with a smile on his face, kissed her goodbye, and went off to the office, as he always did, only to come home asking for a divorce. What had happened? Did he go to work and suddenly realize he no longer loved her? It was time to move on,